to get everything done for the Thanksgiving holiday, and
well, I think we're ready to roll here. So I want to welcome you to today's webinar about STEM education. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Paula Masad, and I'm one of the Education USA advisors at the U.S. Embassy in Qatar. And I have with me my wonderful team members, Asil and Melissa. I'll let you introduce yourselves.
Hello everyone, I'm Asil Ogheli. I work on Education USA, and thank you so much for joining us and discussing the STEM education, which is very important here in Qatar. We welcome the questions from the participants through Zoom and or anyone who's watching us on Facebook. Please feel free to write your questions in the comments, and we welcome them, and we would do our best to answer them. Thank you.
Great, and I'm Melissa Deschamps. I'm the Regional Educational Advising Coordinator for Education USA in the Middle East and North Africa. So I just want to add my welcome as well to all those who are joining, and a big thanks to our panelists and presenters. It is International Education Week this week, so it's exciting to be able to offer this session as part of the menu of programs that we have going on this week. And so we look forward to the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa and Asil. You know, in Qatar, there's a lot of emphasis on STEM education, but what does it mean? We know it means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but those are such broad fields of study. So we really look forward to hearing from our team at Kettering about STEM education. And I'd like to welcome Dr. Hasib Ahmed. He's the Dean of the School of Management, and Dr. Scott Reeve, Dean of the Graduate School at Kettering University, and the panel of students that are going to be joining us today. Welcome.
so should I just jump in, Paula?
Jump in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello. Yes, my name is Scott Reeve, and I'm as Paula indicated, I'm the Dean of the Graduate School at Kettering University. I've been here for about 4.5 years. Before that, I was actually a faculty member at a university in the Mid-South of the United States. So I was actually down in the warm weather. So we actually have snow on the ground today here in Michigan, believe it or not. But so we have what we've done is we don't actually have a presentation with a slide deck today per se, but what we've done is we've invited a number of our graduate students to participate, and I think they're the ones that really have the information that prospective students would really be interested in. Before we get started, we've introduced Dean Ahmed. I don't know, Dean Ahmed, if you want to say a few words about yourself, and then we'll get
sure.
right to the
Thanks, Scott. I've been in Kettering for a little longer than a year, so I manage the School of Management, which has a number of graduate programs. Our management program is focused on technology management side, whether it's MBA or tech MBA or engineering management or operations management. It's a pleasure to present our program. We have representatives from different areas or different programs, and I think it's better to hear from them more. I mean, I think it would be good that we can have a conversation rather than a presentation, and you can hear directly from the student about their experience at Kettering. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Dean Ahmed. We actually have, I've previously shared with our students a series of questions that I thought would be useful to start the program with. And what I'd like to do is go to each one of our students at this time and ask them to introduce themselves, their program of study, a little bit about their background, And I guess we'll start with, how about we start with Nisha? You can start, just introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nishtha. I am a graduate student at Kettering University at the School of Management, and I'm doing my engineering management degree from Kettering University. I have an electrical engineering as my bachelor's, which I did back in my country in India, and I'm an international student, which means I after having a little bit of work experience, I came to the United States and I chose Kettering University. I went through a long process of deciding that what school is the best for me in terms of education, in terms of what I will have as a repercussion to what I will be studying, why I chose management, and what I'm going to do once I get my graduate degree, and what is the area that I'm based in is one of the things that I thought of when I chose Kettering University. What kind of job am I going to get, and what do I look in future in a professional setting, and all these things that a student thinks when they decide to pursue their graduate degree in a different country. And all these settings helped me decide Kettering University. I chose engineering. I had three options to choose my engineering management degree and have a certification, which is one of the perks that I get at Kettering University. I have an an educational background in I had a educational background in management before I started Kettering University, because that is one of the things that I got when I was working. I have 4 years of work experience in the automotive industry as an operations engineer and a manufacturing engineer, and that's when I learned a little bit about management, which is why I decided to do the engineering management degree. There were three certifications, the operations management certificate, the leadership certificate, and the technology certificate, which allows me to choose a few courses from the engineering background, along with the management degree. I had an interest in operations because I was an operations engineer, and which is why I decided to choose my operations certificate along with my degree in engineering management. Yeah, that is it for now. Thank you.
Just to clarify, the engineering management is one of our it's a pretty popular program at Kettering University, and all of our graduate courses consist of all of our graduate degree programs consist of 10 courses, and so students will, if they're going into engineering management, for example, they will take 7 core management courses, and Dean Ahmed can probably speak to that a little bit more. But then we ask them to complete a concentration area, and those were the certificate programs that Nishtha was alluding to, and we have a number of those to choose from, including the operations management certificate that she chose.
Yeah, I just want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dean Ahmed.
Yeah, I just want to add that we have 5 certificate options within the engineering management program. So one, as Nishtha has mentioned, operations management, and global leadership is the second one. Third one would be supply chain and ERP, technical leadership, where the students can focus on specific engineering programs or computer science, and also healthcare management. So those are the certificate options. Those certificates are embedded, as Dean Scott Reeve has mentioned, that in all our degree programs, with the exception of technical leadership, which is exclusively designed for engineering management program. And then we have a similar program, Tech MBA, but has different 7 different concentration areas, which are purely in the STEM fields. Thank you.
And then I'd like to mention that along the way, when I was doing my degree, and I was confused between the certificates that I can choose uh, when I came here, I got a plethora of different opportunities, which I did not think about when I was sitting back in India and deciding what should I choose and what educational thing should I get for my future. So when I came here, I got a lot of different options, which I did not research much about when I was back in India. And so what happened is I wanted to do some other certificate, and which was operations management. But when I came here, I got confused and I started on a different step. But then it was really good, and I got an opportunity to talk to different people, including Dr. Scott Reeve, and I discussed that how I'm confused between two certificates. And so I really like to thank Dr. Scott Reeve and a lot of other people who helped me switch my certificate, and that was a really easy process. So that is one of the options that I want to present, that you can also switch your certificates after some time if you're confused about them.
Very good. Thank you. Gersh, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Girish Kumar Swami. I'm a graduate student here at Kettering, and I've completed my undergraduate degree back in India and worked for a couple of years as a design engineer in one of the automotive companies before pursuing my master's here. And the reason I chose Kettering is because it has a very rich heritage in the automotive industry. And if you ever were to look at Kettering in the broad perspective, pretty much all the degrees have automotive blended into them. If even primarily you would consider automotive to be a mechanical engineering degree, but even if you're taking classes in electrical or computer science engineering, you would see that the automotive applications are given a lot of emphasis in all these areas. So it is a very automotive driven school. So that was one of the major reasons for me choosing Kettering. And to shine a little light on my experience in Kettering so far, I have worked with a number of different student teams and basically student competition design teams where they build certain particular application vehicles to participate in international level competition. I don't want to get into too much of the details, but that gives everyone a lot of opportunity to get along with the uh, uh, students here and also have a vast learning experience, because the possibilities of you taking on a certain kind of specialization or even experiencing different options that you did not know existed before coming here. So that has been a very rewarding experience. And also, like I mentioned earlier, students have the opportunity to pursue courses in electrical, computer science, as well as mechanical engineering. You don't have to be specialized just in one particular department. So even though you're pursuing the automotive engineering degree, you have the opportunity to get exposure in all these different areas. So that has been something I really like in Kettering education. And so that has been a short introduction to myself. I can answer more questions as the students ask. So thank you.
Thank you. And it is interesting. we do have a strong connection to the automotive industry. In fact, at one point, Kettering University was known as General Motors Institute, and our primary mission was to educate managers and engineers for General Motors. And as time went along, we expanded, and now we have alumni not just at General Motors, but at all of the car manufacturers and a lot of the top tier automotive manufacturers that make parts, and I guess we've really expanded to include not just automotive, but we have students working at Google and Amazon and just about every major industry that you can think of. We have alumni there, and in many cases, our alumni are at the C level. In fact, currently there are about 1,000 Kettering graduates that are serving as vice presidents, CEOs, CTOs, CFOs, CIOs at corporations all across America. And as widely, certainly Mary Barra, who's the CEO of General Motors, is a Kettering graduate, but also the CEO of Old Navy is a Kettering graduate as well. So we really have a pretty good legacy. Raj, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. Thank you very much, Dean Ray, for the opportunity to share my experience. So, hello everyone. My name is Raj Mehta, and just like my colleagues, I had my undergraduate degree from India. I pursued mechanical engineering, and while pursuing my degree, I was more and more interested towards the automotive segment of mechanical engineering. And so actually in my case, without any kind of work experience, just after graduating from my undergraduate degree, I came here in the US to pursue my master's in automotive systems here at Kettering. And I mean, Kettering was actually a simple go. I mean, when we look for any automotive related university in USA, there is none which specializes in the field as Kettering. The kind of courses, the study that I did, the kind of courses that Kettering has to offer in terms of specializing and zoning in on the automotive segment is just unique. And I really liked it. And apart from that, the great opportunities to work as assistants with professors here, the kind of research that goes on here that the professors do, and the opportunity that we as students get to be able to collaborate with the industry or with professors to get an idea as to what kind of research goes on outside in the automotive industry. That is really worthwhile, and I'm really reaping the benefits of it. I have not yet graduated. I'm still in my graduate course and pursuing my graduate thesis as of now. Thank you, Dean Rafe.
Oh, thank you. Very nice. Well, one of the things that I hope you were able to glean from just the introductions from these students is that Kettering really is a STEM school, and even our students that come here to pursue management degrees most of them have STEM backgrounds. A lot of our students have a few years of experience as well in industry, and that there's a really strong connection. Kettering is very, I guess the one word that I sort of think of is very applied. And so a lot of our courses are, and everyone's nodding their head because during their courses, the applications that are brought into the classroom from our faculty are really driven towards training people how to do things, and not just the theory behind everything. But we put a strong emphasis on teaching people how to do things out in the real world. Okay. I want to have an opportunity to go on to some of these additional questions, because I think they provide sort of an interest to prospective students. And one of the questions was, how do you find the classes, and or if are you taking graduate courses this term? Not everyone will continuously take graduate courses during their time here, but maybe you can, if you aren't currently taking a graduate course this term, maybe allude to some of the classes, maybe your favorite class, or some, if you could provide some anecdote about something from one of your classes that was particularly memorable. Nisha, do you want to start?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I am not taking graduate courses this term because I have recently graduated. Um, so one of the things that there are like there were two classes that were my favorite because of the setting that I used to get in the class, and there are these two professors. Both of them were really like so giving to their courses, and that the method of the teaching was so different, but at the same time they both were like so good that I remember what they taught me now. And when I'm getting all these interviews for jobs that I'm looking for now, those concepts that they have taught me, I use them in the interviews. So one of the courses was international business, and that was taught by Professor Arthur De Monte. He That was one of the first classes that I took, and like it was one of the best experiences that I had. I had just gotten to Kettering University in United States, and it was like it was the fall, and uh, nonetheless I had this morning class where I used to go, and uh, all the international business concepts that he taught me are so useful, like the hedging and the hedge funds and all those things that are useful to me to uh, give my interview, which is something that, I mean, before an interview, you sit and you prepare yourself and you read a lot of things, but that is something that he taught so well that I don't have to look into. And that is something that I liked a lot. Also, there were like a lot of different students in that class from different cultures. There were German students, there were Chinese students, there were students from this country, and then there were a lot of Indian students like I am. And I got like a diversified educational experience in that class because, and that being my first class, it brought a lot of this experience of United States and the education over here in that particular class. Um, the second class was my supply chain management class, which was taught by Professor Larry Navar. I want to mention that he is also my research professor. I mean, I do my research assistantship under him. So that was an added pressure to me to take his class because the things are connected both ways, and I do something wrong over here, and that can I mean, I was under a lot of pressure, but then Professor Larry Navar is a very friendly professor. I mean, I have he has guided me through a lot of things, not just my class or research assistantship, but overall, I mean, for example, how do I go to a place or a restaurant over here, and what are the things that can, help me the best to be in that setting. Because I'm an international student, sometimes those things also help when you discuss such things with the professor. So he had this thing about management schools, that there has to be a lot of reading to be done before each class, and that like there is pre-reading and post-reading. And so he used to give us a small quiz before every class, so that I have to take that quiz so that he would know that I have done my reading. So that was one of the things that really helped me in that class, because I used to do a lot of reading before the class. I used to give my small quiz which was pretty easy. Like it was, as Dr. Scott Riff said, it was applied. I mean, you got to know the concept, and there's about what you read and everything. And then so when you are in the class, you're very attentive. His method of teaching was like we used to play beer games, which does not involve beer, of course. It's a game. It's a famous game from the supply chain management side field. And he had a game for lean product and process development, and that was a really fun class, which I like. I mean, I just remember it as it is. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I got to say, Professor Navarre I have a long relationship with him. I don't know if you want to make any comment at that point or not, Dean Ahmed, because he's one of your faculty members, correct?
Yeah, Professor Navarre and he brings the practical aspects to the theory, very involved in the lean manufacturing institute. And so he's one of our professors in lean operations and supply chain management. And we are extremely lucky to have him here. There is no doubt about his expertise in that area, in bringing the operations to the management field.
Girish, do you want to talk about some of your classes or some of the classes you're currently taking?
Sure. I'm currently graduated, but it wasn't too long ago I was taking classes and enjoying them truly. It's hard for me to kind of say that I like one particular class because I'm kind of passionate about automotive engineering, and pretty much every class I took was something new, and it always kept me hooked on to it. And every professor had their own new teaching style and a new subject to offer. So it's hard to say that one subject is something I liked. But to kind of give a general experience of how the classes was, most classes were really oriented towards understanding the basics and the most elemental things you need in the industry. We have all the different courses that target towards a particular aspect that you would need to be a complete automotive engineer. So in that sense, it kind of gives you the knowledge to understand the whole picture and give you the confidence to move forward and pick up something that you're passionate or interested about and explore that field furthermore. And as most of you already know, we have like the regular courses in Kettering, and we have the thesis option. I think this is particular to the automotive systems engineers. So we had the option of pursuing something we're really interested in and making that our thesis project. And at the same time, we had all these other courses to explore and get more knowledge in the particular field. And the professors are very supportive, and they make sure that you have a very practical experience in your course rather than just sitting in the classroom and taking in all they have to say. We have a lot of projects within the courses itself. So you're always busy going to the lab and doing something there, if not being in the classroom. So that kind of gives you a more complete understanding of what you're doing, and also keeps you more engaged in the classroom because you have a better understanding of everything. And you can always say, approach the professor with some kind of real problem, and you're always solving real-time problems rather than just understanding something that has already been. So that is something very exciting to be a part of. And also, like I mentioned earlier, you have the option to head out to a different department and say that this course is something I'm interested in, and I would like to pursue this and somehow link that to the thesis work or the research work that I'm doing. So that gives you a lot of new opportunities and learning experiences, and it makes you a more complete engineer, to say the least. Yeah, thank you.
Very good. Raj, do you want to address some of those comments in those same areas?
Sure. Thank you. So one point that I would like to highlight is that the teacher to student ratio in all of the classes is high. So that allows us to have a very personal experience with the teacher, professor, which is what I've experienced in all of my classes. So it's more like I am more open, and like there's more opportunity for me to have a one-on-one discussion with the professor regarding what was taught in the class, or regarding what I have heard in the news, or anything outside the class as well, with the professor right after the class. But I really feel like in few of the classes with a lot of the professors who have great amount of experience in the industry, though those conversations after class, like that was also very knowledgeable and very personal, because they would share their experiences of over more than 2 to 3 decades. So that is also a very great learning experience. And on top of that, the amazing amount and level of equipment which is available, and laboratories which are available at Kettering, that allows us to get a very early exposure to all of these equipments, which are like industry grade, and which are possibly the ones which are going to be used in the industry. So having a chance to have our class laboratory experiments involving us to work with them gives us a very good advantage, and give us a good experience with them, so that we are better prepared for when we enter the automotive industry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Oh, okay. They want me to change my direction so that I'm facing the. I thought we got our first question, so I checked the chat box, but I was facing the wrong direction, so I'm going to correct that now. Okay.
Nice to see you.
Okay. Well, I have a bigger screen here that, you know, as one gets a little older, sometimes I need to see things blowing up a little bit more than trying to see just a small screen. It's one of the things about growing older. One of the great things about growing older. Okay. Here's kind of a little bit more open-ended question that will allow you to expand a little bit. One of the things that's really important with the Kettering education is the experiential learning, the learning that's done outside of the classroom. And we do that, we incorporate that. It's an integral part of the DNA of a Kettering education. And we do that a variety of ways at the graduate level. Students can do internships, they can work on a thesis project that has already been alluded to. They can participate. We have some teams that we have a formula SAE team, we have a snowmobile team, we have a Baja team, we have an auto drive team. We have a number of teams that, and a lot of these are graduate students work with undergraduates. In many cases, they help lead the undergraduate effort. And I know that all you guys have got some aspect of experiential learning that you've been a part of. And so what I'd like to do is have each one of you take a few minutes just to comment on your individual aspects of experiential learning, because I think while there might be some overlap in some of those areas, I think you guys have each had a unique experience, which is another hallmark of Kettering education, as each student sort of is able to build their own pathway and sort of have a unique experience. So what I'd like to do is go around the group again, sort of asking about that experiential learning piece.
Scott, I think we missed Raj from the previous question. Did he talk about his course?
Yeah. I did
think
share my experience.
Yeah, I thought he did. It's and I know I was adjusting myself, so I kind of threw everything off. So okay, so let's and Dean Ahmed, I don't know if you want to make any comment about the experiential learning piece as well as from your role as the dean of School of Management, or do you want to wait and sort of summarize at the end?
Yeah. I'll come back to that at the very end.
Okay.
Let's hear from the students.
Oh, absolutely.
So I have two things to add to this question. One of them would be, of course, my participation in Autodive Challenge. As an engineering management student, I always thought that what can I add to a competition that is totally technical? And of course, as an electrical engineer, I could have added my bit in the control side, but then I was pursuing my engineering management degree, and that's what I wanted to stick to, because I wanted to get more into how management works in such technical aspects. And so I joined Autodrive team as a project manager, where basically a project management responsible person in a team would be capable of acknowledging the technical aspects of each and every function of a team. But more than that, they are more driven into how a project can be best used with the resources that are provided, and how each and everything could collaborate in such a way that we can get the best output out of all the things that have been expected from a team. So as a project manager, I use my applications from my project and change management class. And there is something called PMBOK, which has been a part of my engineering management education at Kettering University. PMBOK is a project management book that is used by professional project management certification educational institutes. And that's what I learned being a part of Autodrive Challenge. I was trained in project management. However, when I went for the team's management, I realized that there is this team called safety team at the Autodrive Challenge competition, which lacks a little bit of, there were less people on that team. And what I did is that, being a project manager, I found out that that is the weak point of the team. And then what happened was, I did not expect that that's what would bring in my professional career as a part of a Drive Challenge, that I learned a little bit about safety. When I learned a little bit about safety, I realized that I can do more than what I have as what I can give as a project management. So I learned a lot more about the functional safety of an autonomous vehicle. And at the end of it, when the teams were being decided, it came off as there were two out of the three students on the safety team were from engineering management degree. There was one more person who was also a project manager like me at the Autodrive Challenge competition, and she also did the same thing. She realized that we need more people in the safety team, and so we both learned a lot about functional safety. it is, I did not expect that this is what would happen, but we won the functional safety challenge this year for the Kettering University Bulldog Pole team, which is what we call our team as in the competition. And that was really, I mean, it gave me a lot of confidence about what I can do as a person. Like, I worked a lot into functional safety. I did not know anything about it. And then I also bagged the first prize. So that is something that gives a lot of confidence when you can achieve things after learning something that was not even planned for you, or you did not plan for it. And that is something that you just came across. And that was something that was a good achievement for me. I even get interviews and I get these people contact me because I have had this experience of Autodive Challenge. The thing is that a lot of companies are associated with the competition, and they pick up students directly from this competitions that are based in every university. So that is a very good opportunity to set yourself in the professional setting. The other thing is the Society of Women Engineers. There's this uh, society, yeah, there's the society that uh, involves a lot of women in it. And I also like to thank Dr. Scott Reeve for assisting me with all the things that I required. I just went to Dr. Scott Reeve and told him that I want to be a part of this annual conference that happens for this side of women engineers team. So I was being sent to California. There was this annual conference where I came across so many powerful women that are in the STEM field. I got to know that what are the opportunities that, I mean, there are so many opportunities that you can have if you have the ability to put yourself there, and then prove yourself that, you know, you are capable of doing a lot of things. That is something that I actually did as an Autodrive Challenge project manager. And it just gives you a lot of confidence when you see a lot of women at such different heights in the professional setting. And that is something that I also came across, which I did not plan, and that happened at Kettering University.
Nishta, could you please share your experience as a consultant for the Small Business Development Center?
Yes, I was I was gonna save that for the question
That's
when
fine.
you'd ask about my work experience with individual faculty.
Okay.
So as a research assistant with Professor Larry Nawar, I was asked to work for the Michigan's Small Business Development Center, where I used to, I got three projects in that entire time. One of them, which I started, is one of the best things that has happened. Like, so the Small Business Development Center itself did not have a proper system set where they could identify that what are the different operations or functions that they have, and how does the process work. Like when they hire someone, they did not have a hiring process. They were doing a set of things that everyone does when a person gets hired, like tell them that these are the different things that you need to learn about in this office, and these are the processes. This is some kind of policies that we have, and for the first 3 weeks you're going to do this, and for the first 6 months you're going to do this, and then you will be uh, promoted from a trainee to the position that we hired you for. And there was this things that they used to do, but they did not have any system or a process in any of those fields. So what I did was identified a lot of processes that they were doing. I gave them a process mapping kind of thing. I set a process for each of the things that they used to do, and that is basically a part of operations analysis and system development that I did at Michigan Small Business Development Center. I was actually lucky because not many people get to do that for the Small Business Development Center. The SBDC is a platform which helps small businesses across entire United States to get help for their business in terms of like in any terms, like if they don't have an HR module in their office, so they help them set that. They help them get some kind of monetary funds, or they also help them get some equipment or training or any sort of thing that USA can do for small businesses. So there is there's this interesting small puppy business around Flint, and they wanted to expand their business, actually double that. So when we went there, we realized that they do have all the things that are required to expand the business, but they just don't know how to do that. So for me, that was like I was learning everything about a business. I learned that how they can double their income, how to call new customers, which is like marketing and advertisement. I also set up processes over there. I mean, now a puppy business has process development and from process mapping in their own in their small setting. I also help them increase their manpower, and basically they had a small room, and we set the business across an entire a land. I mean, we helped them build a lot of different houses, except that one room in which they used to have their puppy business. And yeah, that was like, I did not expect that I was going to do that. But then I now know how to expand a business. Like I learned business expansion, business development, and marketing and advertisement with Small Business Development Center as a part of my research assistantship.
Yeah, the Small Business Development Center that Nishta just alluded to, it is part of the School of Management, and it provides this kind of opportunity to hands-on learning by doing. So that's very important. Nishta, do you have anything to highlight about the Lean Six Sigma course or technology management course?
Yes. So, well, I can tell you about the application of it, because I learned that when I learned the Lean Six Sigma course, I was actually I was learning it under a different professor from the industrial manufacturing engineering department at Kettering University. But then, as I told you, Professor Larry Navarro is someone who is in the Lean Process and Product Development Institute, is a person from that. So this was the first assignment that I got as a research assistant under him. He has something called concept development or concept paper that he thinks that is the best in the field of educational experience. I mean, educational development. So what I mean to say is that lean product and process development and concept paper go side by side. It helps not only for the educators to teach in a better way to the students, but also for the students to learn. Concept paper is something that helps understand different aspects of any field, and then you also get to apply the same while learning. So that is something that I learned in the Lean Product and Process Development class, or the Lean Six Sigma class. And I actually worked to write a paper in the Ivy Business School under him. and we wrote about the Ford Mustang new model, which was uh, uh, which was having a different engine then, and then it had a different engine in 2014 or 2015, if I'm not wrong. So we wrote a paper about it, that how Lean Six Sigma was applied in remodeling the Ford Mustang. Um, yes, that was a really different experience. We were supposed to meet the chief engineer of this Ford Mustang project at Ford, and he was supposed to be the main person who was going to like help us write, become the mentor of the paper, as well as like the way, like he was the mentor of the project. So that was a really good experience in the Lean Six Sigma class.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Um, I, Again, I'll just quickly, one of the things I'll mention is the Auto Drive Challenge team. That's actually one of our teams. And I know Garish, you were with the Formula team, is that correct? Oh, you're muted.
Actually the Baja and the snowmobile team.
The
Not
Baja.
so much of the Formula team.
Okay, okay. And so those are all international competitions, by the way. And our teams actually do pretty well. Do you want to talk about your experiences with some of those teams?
Yeah, so uh, to give a general idea of what these competitions are for somebody who's not aware, it is a student design, student build, and student raced competition. So in a general sense, it is pretty much having an automotive company and doing every aspect of it. So you as a student are designing the car, you as a student are manufacturing it and taking it out to the competition to race it as well. So when you consider all of this, you are exposed to the technical aspect of it. You're also exposed to the management and the soft skill aspect of someone who is leading a company. So I was involved a lot with the Baja team. So I help the team develop a new chassis or like a whole new suspension system because that is something the team was finding difficulty in developing. And I was able to bring my previous work experience and also get a lot of information and knowledge from the team's past experiences as well. So uh, and later was able to make that my thesis project and continue with that. And when you're in that kind of environment, you're exposed to pretty much every tool uh, the industry uses in terms of computer aided engineering, like CAD tools or analysis tools or simulation tools. So we have free access to all those tools and we are able to implement that in real time to the vehicle we are building. So that gives you a lot of real time experience. Even though you're not doing it in a big automotive company, it is pretty much the same thing. It is in a general sense, it is still an automotive, although it looks like a smaller version of it. So for that reason, when you can immediately say that when you're speaking to some professional engineer in say Ford, GM, or any of the big companies, they instantly value that experience. When you say you're part of the Baja team, the Auto Drive team, the FSA team, they know you have been through a lot of designing process, you have a lot of experience in doing these things, and they immediately know that you are capable of handling that kind of responsibilities when you join their company. So that experience has a lot of value. And if you are a big motorsport fan, this is one of the best ways to get a taste for what it's like to be a part of a team and actually do everything from ground up and be a part of a competition. When you actually go out into a competition, you get to meet students from all over the world and students from different universities, and everyone has a different take on their vehicle. So it is a great learning experience and a great exposure to understand the uh, level of competition between you in this university and say someone who is somewhere across the world who is doing a similar kind of uh, course as you. So and also you along the way you develop a lot of soft skills, I should say, because you are managing a particular team. You are uh, uh, building something from uh, like you are giving birth to a new idea. So that is a very rewarding experience because none of this is supported by your professor, or none of this is like already on the book for you to just uh, take it up. You are actually bringing into life something that is not there before, and that gives you a lot of experiences to talk about when you're meeting somebody in the industry and trying to in an interview environment, or just when you're networking with someone, you have a lot to speak about. So uh, that has been my experience in being part of these teams. Thank you.
That sounds fantastic, guys. Raj, you want to weigh in on some of your experiences?
Sure, definitely. So I would say I have quite a mixture of the experience, which was mentioned by my colleagues. So I am working in the auto drive team, which is just to elaborate, it's an autonomous vehicle development challenge by SA International and GM, wherein we have a Chevy Bolt, and we have to using a variety of sensors and equipment, we have to make it operational on a level 4 autonomous level.
But tell us what a level 4 autonomous level is.
Okay, so there are the Society of Automotive Engineers (SAE) has laid out its standards for autonomy as to how much control can the how good can the car operate by itself without any driver's input. So there are these various level as level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So level 2, level 3 are more considered as driver assist technologies, and level 4 is more like where it goes towards driverless, and wherein a lot of the upcoming companies upcoming cars from companies like Tesla and BMW are at present. So level 4 allows the car to operate pretty much by itself, wherein you enter the start point and the end point. The vehicle maps its route through the location, and based on the conditions that it faces through while its journey, whether it's stop sign, whether it's pedestrian detection or stop line or a traffic signal detection, accordingly it will maneuver, and also definitely take into consideration the other vehicles and other obstacles or maybe construction equipment, anything present in the way, and try to route safely to the end goal and target destination. So that is what the challenge is about.
So basically, you're making this car. The driver could essentially sit in the back seat, and the car just goes by itself, and it takes all safety precautions into account. It speeds up, it slows down, it stops depending upon what it's faced, and you guys are programming that.
Yes, definitely. We have got this opportunity to work on such a high level project. So it is very prestigious, and it's very rewarding actually to get to be able to work on a project with such amazing equipment, and with getting exposure to a Chevy Bolt vehicle, getting to work with its architecture, the CAN system, and a lot of other systems. So it is definitely it is definitely challenging, because this is where the industry is also currently researching and working, and as students we get an edge by when because we are getting exposed to this at an academic level while we are still in college. So once we are out, we do have an edge as compared to other students who might not have got exposure to these autonomous technologies. So So just to summarize my experience, I would say so I have been able to work, as Girish said, on on vehicle development, wherein you make a vehicle from scratch, and I've also been working in the auto drive team, wherein I already have a commercial vehicle and I can work on upgrading its capability. So it's a variety of experience, and it's not just mechanical. I am a part of the EV cards team, which works on developing an electric go-kart for a competition. So it's a variety of student driven competitions which are available here, and there's no restriction. Actually, we can work wherever we want to, and it's highly diversified and a lot of opportunities which we can all leverage and get an edge when we are out in the automotive market. So really loving it.
I'm just amazed. I'm a physicist by training, and I'm just amazed at the things that you guys accomplish um, in the projects that you work on. It's just, whenever you think about, every time I see a Hollywood movie, I see something in the movie and I think about you guys because you're actually doing that technology, and that's just incredible. It looks like we're a little past 11. I guess that's why you popped in, right, Paula?
Yeah, we could go on talking because all the work that you're doing is absolutely fascinating. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share your stories and information about your research. And I know that we've talked, Dr. Reeve and Dr. Ahmed, about doing another session in the future in collaboration with students in Qatar, speaking about different projects that they're working on and having them share that conversation. So I look forward to that in the future. And I just, really thank you for taking the time out today, and Anitha, for sharing. I know as a woman in the field of engineering, you're a minority, and I admire your work there. And I've heard about the organization of
women engineers.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and they're doing great work. Actually, I talked with some students here in Qatar that are members of that organization.
Yeah, they have regional and country-wise different sittings also.
So
And
one of our plans is to bring them also to speak about their experience and the challenges that they
yeah,
face.
that's wonderful. The conference that happens annually is something that is attended by everybody from all the countries around the world, and so we get to meet so many people, and
And just
yeah,
seeing
that's a great experience.
those women leaders.
Yeah.
It's very nice though. So I want to thank you all for joining us today and being here and sharing information about your projects at Kettering and information about the programs that are available at Kettering and STEM in general. All the different, is such a wide and diverse fields of study that are available to students. So thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you for allowing us this time. It was great, and we love having our students come and share their experiences, and we're just so proud of them. I'm sure Dean Ahmed can share my sentiment. The things that they do are just incredible. So,
Asil, do you have anything any questions on?
Thank you. Just very briefly, can you just share with us, because we had like similar questions in the past, like what are the types of programs that you have within the graduate studies, like the branches within engineering, let's say. So what?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yes, we actually have a number of graduate programs, and I'll just quickly tick them off. But if anyone wants further information, they can get a hold of me at gsr@kettering.edu, and that will come directly to me, and then I can address any questions that might come up. But we offer we offer master's degrees in mobility systems, which is really a way of bringing a lot of engineers into the automotive and mobility space. We offer masters in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer engineering. We have a degree program in data science. We have a degree program in engineering management that was mentioned, operations management. we have a MBA degree, and we have a Tech MBA degree, which is a degree program that is similar to engineering management that allows people to get some management skills at the same time enhance their technical background. And again, these are all degree programs that are designed to prepare students for industrial careers and further graduate study if that's something they're interested in.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
I just want to add one thing. In the Tech MBA, our concentrations are to give some examples of how we integrate STEM and management. The MBA students can focus on data analytics and big data, advanced mobility that Dean Reeve has mentioned. New energy and sustainability is an area. Material science and engineering, advanced manufacturing, systems engineering, and obviously logistics and supply chain management. So those are the 7 emphasis areas within the Tech MBA program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And there was also a question. So because we had been in touch with the school here that deals with technology and science. So one of the questions also that we had some students who are thinking of pursuing their graduate studies. So what are the requirements with regard to the different tests? And if you have any scholarships? So we always have these questions.
Is this
Sure.
at the undergraduate level, right, Asil? This would be undergraduate.
Yeah, but also,
Oh.
yeah, in some formal sessions, there were some students who are interested in graduates
Okay.
and asking about like different types of tests that are required. Yeah.
Well, for the engineering program, we of course we like to see the credentials, the undergraduate credentials, and so we really try to take a holistic look at during the admissions process. We look at undergraduate credentials, letters of recommendation. For international students, there is a language proficiency requirement that can be met with Duolingo, IELTS or TOEFL. In the past we've required GRE for the engineering degree programs, although the last 6-7 months, because of sometimes it's hard to get those GRE scores. We look at those, sometimes we waive those on a case-by-case basis, depending upon the strength of the undergraduate credential. At the graduate level, all incoming graduate students receive some financial support, either in the form of a graduate scholarship or a graduate assistantship. All these guys have participated either as research assistants or teaching assistants in the past, and are continuing to do so in some capacity. So that does provide a stipend that in exchange for working with a faculty member, either to help deliver a class or develop a class or to develop a research project. Oftentimes these research projects are supported by industrial sponsors. And then there's scholarships available that are applied directly towards tuition. So all of our graduate students, I think it's like 100% receive some form of support for graduate study.
Great, thank you so much. And thanks for all the students who joined us today. Thanks to Dr. Ahmed as well. Thanks, Dr. Scott as well. Thank you so much. This is an amazing opportunity for people who are watching us on Facebook, who would watch also the session later on, to hear from the students, from the experiences that they had, the opportunities to get practical experience. Thank you so much for sharing these with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much.
Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.